one story about her. We were living in Des Plaines, in the same apartment complex as Jeaneen and Dave. I actually babysat Adam when he was little. I babysat Aaron when he was little too. Oh, that was the best. When I babysat Aaron, I think I was maybe 14, 15, right around there. I would go over their house and spend the night because they lived in the city. He lived in the city. And I would go over there, and I didn't ever get any pay. But at the time, I was fat, like 165 pounds. And Jeaneen, and I don't know if Dave shot for it, but I think it was Jeaneen. She bought me every goodie you could imagine. I had Cheetos, I had chips, I had chocolate, everything. And she said I could eat whatever I wanted while I was babysitting. Oh, I'd love to go over there and babysit. I couldn't wait. Because we had 7 kids in our family. And so treats were like pretty rare. So I loved that. And the one time while we were living in Des Plaines, Jeaneen and Dave, we used to get together all the time, and Dave would play the guitar and we would all sing. Jeaneen could sing beautifully, quietly, but beautifully, even better than me, and I sang in quiet. So, one time, my husband at the time and I were going to the store, and he shouts out, "There's Jeaneen right there." And I said, "I don't see her." "How do you know that's Jeaneen?" Because we were looking at her from the back. And he goes, "Because she has the best butt." I'm not kidding. And sure enough, when she turned around, it was Jeaneen. Well, we were shopping the same area, so we were bound to see her. But I never could recognize her from her. Wow.
Ex-husband you're talking about?
Yeah, Art. And yes, he's an ex. The other thing about Jeaneen was, wherever I lived, if I would come up with questions. One time we had a cat that was giving birth in our apartment. And I think the kitty was Bridge. So I called up Jeaneen, and it was late at night. I called up Jeaneen and I said, "Jeaneen, I don't know, but I think that the kitty is having a breech kitten." And she said, "Okay." She said, "Don't panic, I'll just give you to Dave on the phone." She totally copped out. But there was other times I called her when it wasn't Dave. You don't remember that?
No, did I help? Was I useful?
Yes, the kitties came out fine. The one that was breech was stillborn. But there was more after it. So she was right. You told me to stick my hand up there and pull it out. I was like, "You're kidding me." And he said, "No." You don't remember that? I lived in London, so it's really a long time.
Yeah.
Jim was just there. And the other thing I remember is I also used to call her. I called her, in fact, from Florida when I was living down in Florida. And we had a condo, so we could have our own plants and everything around it. And I was having problems. So I called up Jeaneen from Florida and I said, "Jeaneen, I don't understand this plant. What can I do?" She knew right away. But she worked for a plant place or something. Yeah, and she was really good at that, as you know from your landscaping. So whenever I called her and needed help, she was there. She never said, "Forget it," or "Shut up, Cindy." She always understood and took the time to help me out. And I'll always appreciate that about Jeaneen. And she was a pig when we were kids. Don't you remember the dresser she had, or the desk she had, and it was piled with clothes?
Yeah, where else was she going to put it?
I know, she really didn't have any room, so I can't blame her too much. Okay, anybody else got something to say? Good.
Watch out for the camera.
anything amazing about you and your baby trust. Just, we knew she was gonna take a very balanced,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does, but in the meantime, it's hard.
way
Yeah.
to create a solution.
Sorry, I'm late,
So
but.
Jeaneen, I
I'm just
believe,
so glad that you're here. It means a lot to me.
Oh,
she was the
you're
eldest,
very
of
welcome.
course, and we all looked up to her
Over here.
to settle
Oh,
They're the only underneath of people.
minor differences and even some, some things that could be considered right or wrong things. But she had a balanced way. It wasn't about right or wrong for her. She was more even distribution of power, like that. So we all trusted Jeaneen 100%. Every one of us, all 7 kids, went to Jeaneen to advise us with regard to justice. That's all I have to say.
Anybody else have anything they want to share? Oh, yeah. I know you hate speaking in front of people. I know you hate talking in front of people. This is all friends and family, though.
It doesn't matter. One-on-one and that's it. I'm only going to tell 2 short things. Our family used to play peanut a lot. We were all taught when we were, 5 years old. And sometimes we'd have a lot of people. And this particular time we had, I think it was 6 people playing, so it's a double deck. So you had to use 2 decks. And because you have to distribute all the cards, we deal 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So Jeaneen's turn to deal. And she doesn't shuffle real good either. But she starts off with her 3, 3, 3, 3, and she goes around and around and around and around and around. And she doesn't get to the end, and she only has 6 cards left. And she says, oh, there's not enough cards. Here, 3 here and 3 here, instead of distributing the 1. The last one has a 1. I think Jeaneen was probably competitive really with only herself. She wanted to be the best at whatever she endeavored. My garden is a perfect example of that. I'll always have her to think about because of my gardens. But there was one New Year that my friend Nancy and her 2 friends of hers, one her boyfriend, current boyfriend at the time, and Jeaneen and Dave, I invited them over to, play Trivial Pursuit. And Jeaneen and Dave, like I said, the competition is really within themselves. It's not trying to beat anybody. So, but Nancy's boyfriend, we ended up figuring out he was a poor sport. So when we went around with the Trivial Pursuit,
I couldn't remember. Now I do.
we went around with Trivial Pursuit, and Jeaneen and Dave were a team, and me and a friend of, I guess her boyfriend's sister, we were a team, and Nancy and her boyfriend were a team.
Oh, stop calling him my boyfriend.
Her former boyfriend.
And the creep.
He was some idiot. But anyway, just to watch Jeaneen and Dave playing Trivial Pursuit is unbelievable. Here's everybody, I don't know. Jeaneen and Dave would look at each other and say, well, it can't be this, can't be that, because of this, because of this. And they'd figure it out, and even if they knew nothing of the subject, like Jeaneen knew nothing about sports. They get into the sports thing, and this guy is saying, oh, good, it's something they don't know about. And the 2 of them could figure it out just by bantering back and forth with each other. Oh, this, oh, this. Well, he just had such a terrible fit.
And Jeaneen and Dave are, who of course were the winners. And he was so, they're cheating, they're cheating. Well, how can they be cheating? It's Trivial Pursuit. So just to watch how they interacted together and such high intelligence and such logical conclusions that they could make about everything. They made a perfect couple, and we were so, Nancy, we were so happy about him losing his ass off. He got his.
Oh my gosh, I had forgotten about that.
Oh, that was
Is
hysterical.
that your last date?
Pretty much.
Anybody else?
I do, I have something. Hi, My
This is
name
my
is
sister Helene.
I'm Helene, and I have the honor to be David's sister. So, I was about 17 years old, and Jeaneen and David were newly married, and I had gotten a traffic ticket. And I knew my mom would be pissed at me. So I asked Jeaneen, please, please, will you come to traffic court with me? My mom is gonna kill me. And of course she did, which was a very, very cool sister-in-law thing for her to do for me. So not only did I get off and not have to pay a fine and not go to bad girl school, but my sister-in-law was so cool to take that whole day to spend with me. I got out of school that day. She spent the day with me, and I didn't have to pay any traffic fine or anything.